All right, what's up, y'all? We back. Niner football back. We back. We did take a break. We're gone for a year. Didn't want to do it, but stuff happens. But hey, we're back. It's your boy LeBron, Primo in the cut. You know what I mean? It's a scary sight. Let's go.
Yeesh. Let's do it.
So what we're doing today is, if you've been following, you know what I mean? If you're new, we're more of a recap show. So we're going to recap the game, and then we're going to go on from there. We're going to touch a couple key points, things that I saw, maybe some things that he saw, and then we'll be back after the next game. So starting off, everybody's been raving about it. I loved it. Trey Lance, man, he balled out. You know what I mean? 4 or 5. He had 92 yards in the TD. Now, this is my thing about it, because a lot of people are saying, oh, small sample size, it's the preseason, and I get all of that. But from the talks from practice and what they were saying he'd been looking like and how that defense had them looking, I'm impressed. What you think about it, man? What would you say?
Well, I mean, like we've been having talks, outside. I'm saying he's technically practicing against the best defense in the league, right? Obviously, we don't know what other defenses are going to look like right now, just because it's preseason. Right. Obviously, the season hasn't begun, but based on what we saw last year with the Niners defense, he's essentially facing the best defense in the league. We upgraded at corner. We've upgraded at the front seven. So, I mean, and obviously our linebackers are studs, bro. And Huff is looking solid. And Jimmy just made the top 100. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? We've been knowing he's been balling out. But so
Jimmy Ward, yeah, he did. He did make the top 100. Him and Juszczyk.
So my thing is that he's been climbing up. He's been progressing as the practices go. That's a positive thing. I mean, preseason, bro, the little that we saw from him, I mean, it was impressive, but it wasn't anything like for me to be like, yeah, he sucks. Or, I mean, I've been known he could throw the deep passes. He did it in games last year, so it's anything new. I believe in him. I think he's going to take our offense to the next level. I think as the season goes, he'll get better, just like in practices. But I mean, I'm not down on him, bro. I've been saying I think he's a Steph Curry of the 49ers.
Hey, I like it. And to be honest with you, man, I kind of could piggyback that because I see something special in the dude. I feel like, prior quarterbacks, and I'm not here to bash nobody. I've been one of the dudes, and me and you both, we actually like Jimmy.
Yeah.
He wasn't down on
Jimmy. Yeah, for sure.
Jimmy was good for the team. He did what he did. But what I see in Trey, it's like the next level. You know what I mean? It's completely different. I feel like we could really do something this year, man. It's completely different than what I've seen before, brother.
I mean, the point of the game is to win, right? I mean, it's not about my quarterback threw 5 touchdowns and we lost the game. I mean, I'm not tripping. I want my team to win and win the chip. I mean, I could care less about individual stats. There's a lot of people that really pay so much attention to those things. If he wins those games, bro, I could care less if he threw 3 passes. And that's the argument people have with Jimmy. I didn't have an issue with him. We was winning games. What does it matter if he didn't throw a pass a whole game? In the 2019 championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it matter? We won. Like, we won. At this point, people are nitpicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, like I say, everybody pretty much feels the same. We looking to see what Trey is going to do when the season starts. But let's go to the next 2 quarterbacks. I like what I saw in Nate Sudfeld. I've been hearing, talks around Niner Twitter and all of this stuff. People saying Purdy looking a little better. To them, I actually like Sudfeld to be the quarterback too. Do you think all the quarterbacks make the roster? You think 3 quarterbacks make the 49ers roster, or do you think Purdy can beat out Sudfeld for the job?
I think Purdy could beat out Sudfeld for the job. Now, hear me out. I know he was playing the third stringers. Okay. I get it, right? And he's a rookie, though. Nate Sudfeld's been in the league for a couple of years now. Right. And he looked like hot garbage against second stringers. Purdy, yes, his first throw could have been intercepted. It looked very Jimmy G-ish. I get that. And people are going to say, well, his first pass could have been intercepted, all that. But he bounced back, though. The point was that he bounced back, and he got us down to a TD. Yeah, third string or whatever, but he looked good. As the drive progressed, he got better.
He did.
And he has the mobility that Jimmy G had in 2017 before the injury. If Jimmy G wouldn't have gotten injured, trust me, wouldn't even be talking about no quarterback changes or anything like that, because that boy could move.
True. Jimmy could move before that. He was a lot more mobile. I don't know, bro. I feel like when I looked into the stat line, it tells a little bit of a different tale than what you saw with your eyes, because Sedfield's numbers were solid. If I'm not mistaken, let me see his passer rating. He had a 132 passer rating. So, if you go off the books, he's pretty much a lock to be the number 2 quarterback. Do all 3 make the roster? That is so tough, bro. I know Kyle, though, and Kyle kind of likes to have that insurance policy. It's kind of like that year where we had Jimmy and we had Mullins and we had CJ Beathard, and all 3 of them made the roster. You kind of got to do it. So actually, at first I was leaning to only 2 quarterbacks that were going to make the roster. I actually got 3 now. I got them all making it, bro.
I think, we're only preseason game 1, but I think if, like I told you during the game, I said, I want to see Purdy against the second stringers. And if Purdy makes things happen against the second stringers, Nate Sudfeld either third string or practice squad. I just feel like Purdy has enough to beat out Nate Sudfeld, bro. I just don't see a solid game for against second stringers. To me, is not enough, bro. You can't win games against first stringers like that.
Right. 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. All right, real quick, I want to get your take on the running backs real fast. I don't want to go through everybody, but I want to ask about the running backs because it was very lackluster to me, homie. I was not impressed from what I saw from any running back that played in that game. I don't want to single anybody out or anything like that, but as a group, as a whole, what did you think of the running backs? Was it bad holes, bad lanes?
So obviously we gotta put it like this. Obviously, the first string that played with Trey Lance, it wasn't the first stringers. Obviously, a lot of players missing.
Right.
Trent wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? McGlinchey was there, but McGlinchey's shaking off that rust. You know what I'm saying? He did just come off a big injury, so can't put too much onto that. Jalen Moore is not playing. He's not. He was a rookie last year, but he was solid enough to get the job done.
Right.
But with that aside, bro, Trey Sermon to me doesn't make the roster. He looked exactly what he looked like last year. Couldn't make cuts, just up the middle, getting tackled for losses. If he did get a gain, it was 2 to 3 yards. Right. Davis Price, I think he has more of a chance. Elijah Mitchell's, you know what I'm saying, the number 1 running back.
He's solidified number 1.
And then you got Jeff Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Number 2. I think the number 3 would be Tyler Davis Price, but
right.
Yeah, man. I wasn't impressed. It was like you said, it was lackluster. It was
lackluster. I agree with what you said as well, though. I feel like Mitchell solidified as the number 1 guy. Probably gonna have Jeff Wilson Jr. be the number 2. And what I see Kyle doing a lot of with whoever else makes that roster, it's just gonna be kind of like they're gonna be sporadic. It's gonna be this guy here, that guy. Yeah. He's gonna run those 2 backs that we just said. Those are going to be the 1 and 2. That's going to be our punch. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
These other dudes are going to get in here or there, third down here or there. These dudes ain't really going to get a lot of touches.
What's damn, his name's slipping right now. Butterfingers.
Hasty.
Little short scat back.
Hasty.
Yeah, bro. He's Butterfingers, bro.
He might not even make the roster.
But he was the most impressive out of the first preseason game, though.
But when you invest those picks, you invest 3rd round picks 2 years in a row on running backs. I think they're going to get the nod.
You know who looked good? The undrafted dude, Mason. He looked good. Against third stringers, but he looked against the competition. He looked way better than the other 2.
He did. I got to give him that. Actually, I forgot about dude, and that was later in the game when. My attention span wasn't on it like it was early in the game. But, yeah, man, definitely he looked good. Wanted to get to my next thing, bro. I don't want to stay on them too long. The defense. I know the defense probably had less starters play than the offensive side had play.
Yeah.
Are you worried about the defense at all? I heard a couple people saying the defense didn't look the same. And kind of with all those players missing, I don't really think you can hold anything against the defense. Right?
Well, look, something about Niner fans. They love talking, and maybe all fans with all teams are like this. Dudes got to find something to talk about, right? At the end of the day, bro, Travis Ward wasn't playing. Jimmy Ward wasn't playing. Only Huff was
Right.
playing.
Facts.
Mosley wasn't
Whole
playing.
secondary, whole
And
secondary was gone.
And we already know about Mosley. We know Travarius Ward. I mean, every time he played Kansas City, which was very limited. I mean, you saw, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was holding it down. So, I mean, I have nothing to worry about our defense, bro. Fred Warner, you got Alzaire, and then you got Green, and now you got the other dude, something. He's got a long ass name, bro. Something Day. The other linebacker, I mean, he's fast too, bro. So, I mean,
the guy that got the interception, the linebacker with the pick, McCrary
Ball.
McCrary Ball.
McCrary Ball, there you go.
Yeah.
But it was Huff that set it up.
Well, Huff did set it up. It was an assist. Huff with the assist on that one. You feel me?
Exactly.
But defense gonna be solid. I ain't worried about them at all. Top 3 defense last year, homie. Arguably the best defense in the league. I'm not worried. Not one bit.
Not tripping at all. Yeah, not one bit.
All right, so let's go on to the next thing. Season expectations for Trey Lance. I know most of Niners content out here is Trey Lance dominant, as it should be. You know, second-year quarterback taking over. Not even gonna cover Jimmy. I don't even, you know what I mean. But how do you feel about the expectations for the season for Trey Lance? What do you expect?
I mean, look it, bro. As a general rule in life, the more you do something, the better you get at it.
Facts.
So obviously with practice, taking reps with the first team, with these preseason games, I mean, even though Kyle's only going to play him the first one, which he did, and then now the third one, obviously you got to protect your assets. You know what I mean? You invested so much in him.
Right.
But I think as the year goes, he'll progress. I mean, with limited snaps, with playing with the second string last year, he was still able to win us games. And people might be like, "Well, the defense was so good." Look, I don't give a fuck. He won the game. He did his part. He did enough. And I feel like he's better than last year. And I feel like he's able to run the offense. He's able to read defenses a little bit better. And obviously, our defense is setting them up for like success against the league. So I'm not worried, man. I think we'll go 13-4, man. Honestly.
Ooh, I like it. Now, like you hit it right on the head. It's he did enough, and that's all he really has to do to get this team to the next level. Jimmy, like I said, I don't want to get into him too much, but you know, Jimmy was actually just a game manager. He's not a guy that's going to take over the game. He might lose us a game, but he ain't really doing much to win us a game. Trey has a little something extra, a little something special that I could see Trey actually winning us a game or two in the season where it came down to a third down conversion and we needed something and Trey pulled a rabbit out of the hat and, you know what I mean, did something big for us. My expectations for the season, though, I got us at about 11-6. Growing
not a bad record.
No, not at all. But growing pains for a young quarterback, you know what I mean? You're probably gonna lose some you should win. You know, things like that happen. It's the NFL. No game is a for sure. You know what I mean? You got to play that, like they say, any given Sunday you play the games. So
I look at it like this: we're looking at a Colin Kaepernick type of situation, right? Not much information out there, and Trey Lance is a much better quarterback than Colin Kaepernick was, and that's not even a knock on Colin because Colin was balling. But you got to remember, limited information, limited reps, everything. Defenses can only do so much against them. Right. Obviously, Kyle's not going to show the whole arsenal during preseason. We know he could throw the deep passes. He did it during the regular season last year. So, I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying? Remember this. Colin Kaepernick took us to the Super Bowl. I mean, obviously with help of Alex Smith.
And the defense, another great 49er defense that we had as well.
Yeah, but Colin Kaepernick brought us back from I think we were 17 points down to Atlanta, which was a really good team that year, and we came back and won that game.
And I argue with people a lot too that Green Bay game when Cap set the playoff record for most rushing yards from a quarterback, 181 yards. I don't think Alex Smith wins that game. Wins that game. No. It's the two big chunk runs that Colin Kaepernick had that won that. But so to get back to Trey, though, I'm looking at maybe 3,500 yards passing. I'm not going to say 4,000 because we run the ball a lot. We're really dependent. So I'm going to say about 3,500. I want to say maybe anywhere from 25 to 28 TDs. He might break 30, but it's going to be tough for him to break 30 just because of how run dominant we are. So I'm going to say about 28. Clock me at 28, 3,500, and I'm going to say about 14 interceptions.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah. He's going to throw some we're going to be upset about, some Kyle going to chew him out about. You know what I mean? It's going to happen. He's a young player, but he's going to do enough. And I could see this being a great season. The 49ers having a great run. Can you give me some numbers real quick, though? What you think yards-wise, interceptions, TD rating? What you give
and you know what's funny? I was about to say the same thing as you. So you literally took the numbers right out of my mouth. It's exactly. I was just gonna add one more interception, 15, but
15.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't see him. I don't see him doing that bad as a second. Well, I guess you could consider this his first year, so I don't see too much of a learning curve. I mean, the dude seems pretty smart. He seems to learn from his mistakes. So, and obviously, I mean, the whole team endorses him, man. I mean, I understand like you're not gonna bash your quarterback, but you could tell like it's legit endorsements from like the big guys. You know, Trent, Kittle, Debo. I mean, we all know Ayuk loves him, man. They got And Kyle clearly now is. There's, you know what I'm saying? He don't have to hold the bag no more. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy ain't on the team no more. So, I mean, technically he is, but
I mean, he is.
You know, he's not.
We'll see Jimmy gone, I'd say, in the next probably 2 weeks, maybe going into that third week, Jimmy should be gone. I had a theory, though, that I spoke to you about, and I asked you, I said, you think there's a chance that if Trey is not that guy and he don't look good in these preseason games, that they're kind of just holding on to Jimmy for the just in case? Because all that chatter on the outside of people saying Jimmy need to be gone as Trey's team, on the inside, none of us really know what Kyle and John Lynch and Parag and what these guys think. You know what I'm saying? I heard Jimmy was loved in the organization, and there's a really good chance that they're just holding on to Jimmy just to see if Trey wasn't the guy. You know what I mean? Like, that was a big theory of mine that I thought.
Look at and you and me both had thought about that, but 2 points that recently so obviously is a fact. So obviously everybody's talking about it now. Seen a bunch of 49er insiders talking about the fact that Jimmy G ghosted the 49ers when he was given the big contract. Yeah. And then obviously, and now it makes sense when obviously Kittle and some of the big guys like Debo said that he would not return text messages.
So, you know what's funny? Kittle's been telling us this the entire time.
Exactly. Yeah. So now in hindsight, maybe Kittle wasn't. I mean, obviously you got the camaraderie once the season starts. You know what I'm saying? You ball out for your brothers. I mean, all that, you know, off-season shit goes out the door. Yeah. But I think ultimately, as a person, and which has a lot to do with team sports, bro. I don't think like Jimmy connected with anybody because like they're saying that Jimmy would shut off come the off season,
shut down, and
he would only do the bare minimum once it was required to do it.
Yeah. And no organized practices. He's not calling his receiver crew. You know, he wasn't doing anything.
Yeah. And now it makes sense of why he never got better. Why it was always the same Jimmy. After 2017, nothing got better. It was just the same guy doing the same mistakes, throwing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And no doubt.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think Trey's going to succeed as long as he somehow locks down those Jimmy G throws, the little dumps that go for like 20, 30 yards. If he can solidify that, bro,
got to improve on those.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing is, what everybody's saying, that's where he needs, the area where he needs work on.
Right. I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see, you know, I heard Kyle saying that he's probably not going to play him in this next preseason game. So it'll be a recap. Well, no need to. It's like he's playing back-to-back games, back-to-back days. Those practices against another team is very intense. Anytime you practice against another team they're running these practices like games. These players are playing in these practices like it's a game. So no reason for him to play what would be 3 games in the matter of 4 days. Not worth it. So we'll do a recap on that, but we won't even have to even worry about Trey Lance. It's a good chance we won't. Getting to the bottom of this thing, I'm not going to hold you. I myself I'm going through COVID as I'm doing this show.
Yeah.
I've been out all week. You know what I mean? So I'm not even trying to get in there. But most impressive player in this past game, this preseason week 1 game. And I already know who it is, and I probably got the same exact player. But you're most impressed by what player in that game?
I mean, we talked about it, man. Womack was he like, and what's funny is that you and me actually were talking about him the week prior to the preseason game.
Yes.
And we said we haven't heard much about him, negative or positive, but I do wanted to bring up that like Grant did say that he was doing just enough in practice. And
right, he wasn't
clearly, man, we saw him in games. He's a ball hawk, bro. I mean, doesn't give up on plays. And I kept rewatching the second interception. I mean, it's nuts, bro, because obviously as Niner fans, we don't have the best corners most of the time. Mosley has been an anomaly, and obviously Verrett, but he, obviously stays injured. But the fact that we drafted a dude that was able to read the eyes of the wide receiver and just read him by his reaction and turn and get the ball, bro. I was like, yeah, Womack is it. And I told you, I think he's going to be better than the Shark, just because he could actually intercept the ball.
That, and also he's so young. We got the Shark. The Shark had already been in the league. I believe he was came from Cleveland. He had years. You know what I mean? We got the best years from the Shark. But my player is the same. Big Womack, you know what I mean? I almost want to call him Bobby Womack. You feel me? The singer from back in the day. Womack did the singer. So I'm super impressed. What I really like though, and I've watched a little bit of tape, is the feet work. He's not getting his feet crossed. He's not, and he, like you said, reading the receiver, glancing up, seeing where the quarterback is. The way this dude played the position, outside slot, they bounce him around, and I got a lot of good looks from Womack, and I like what I saw, brother. I'm impressed. I feel like he's one of them ones. He's one of them.
I think he's one of them that really goes with the message of what Iverson said. We just talking about practice.
What about the game?
He showed up on game day. And that's what matters.
Hey, you know what? He's just another one of our steals that we keep pulling the rabbits out of the hat in those 5th round picks. For some reason, Kittle, all of these cats that we drafted, it's something about John Lynch, Parag, the front office when it comes to those 5th round picks, bro. Forget about it. We draft better than anybody when it comes to those late picks, and
exactly. I hope Trey's the exception.
Right.
I mean, we've had hits though. We've got a Debo, we've got a Bosa, obviously. So hopefully Trey, goes along with the first, second rounders. But you said, bro, the late rounds were hitters.
Hitters, man. We excel in the late round picks. So I had Womack. You had Womack. Let me see. Where else are we? We don't have much more, man, to go. While I'm looking this up, let me just ask you one quick question, man. What are you expecting what do you expect to see in these practices coming up while I look this up? Yeah, what are you looking at in those joint practices this week?
Really 3 things. 1, Trey got a ball.
Okay.
Based on what I've seen like I said, obviously we know every year changes. Teams look different from year to year, so we can't really take last year into account too much. But based on last year, I will hope Trey can mop the Vikings. If I hear that he's struggling, I wouldn't say concern, but I would say, it could get a little rocky. Second, want to see Womack with the first stringers. Obviously, I think he deserved it. Darqueze Dennard got released, so I mean, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. And no injuries, man. No injuries.
You hit it on the head. That was my number one. My number one thing is in those 2 practices is to come out healthy, unscathed. I don't need no out for the seasons. I don't need no 4 to 6, 4 to 8. Now, no injuries, bro. I want to come out of those 2 joint practices healthy because there's still a game following that a day later or 2 days later. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to come out healthy. Historically, man, the Vikings defense always plays the Niners pretty tough, though. We never just scorch them like that. I mean, we've had good games against them, you know what I mean? But normally the Vikings defense does kind of show up. So I'm expecting Trey to just find a rhythm, continue to do what he's doing. Like I said, growing pains. This shit's going to happen. There's going to be ups and downs. I just want to see Trey do his thing. You know what I mean? I want to see him have a decent completion percentage and kind of just work the flow of the offense, and we'll be good, man. I just don't want to see any injuries. That's my biggest take.
Yeah, I mean, and also take into account that most of our defense is not going to play. I mean, a lot of people we got 13 injured players right now, so I don't think Kyle's even going to take the chance. I think obviously Trey's going to be in there, but I think he's going to be very limited with the first stringers. I mean, there's no need to take the risk. You named him the starter. There's so much unknown with Nate and Purdy. And, I mean, I don't even think we could get to the 13 wins with both of those guys. So, at this point, limited run with Trey, with the first stringers, you know what I'm saying? Being that I'm sure Trent, McGlinchey, Jalen, I don't know what the status of Jalen Moore is, but, you know, those guys are not going to be out there too much. Depending on how the practice is run, right? If it's going to be really intense or if it's going to be kind of just like a limited thing, because both teams are going to actually be watching for injuries and don't want to jeopardize the season on the practice. But I mean, yeah, man. Obviously, only thing I don't want to hear, bro, is that Trey's getting burnt out there and just getting torn apart, because that wouldn't be good news.
That's what we don't want. Yeah, bro. Is there anything else you want to add? Like I said, I wanted to keep it nice and short. We coming back after every game. We are going to give you a recap after every game. It's the preseason, so we're not going to dig deep into reviewing.
Yeah, not too much. Yeah.
Once the season starts, we'll review the upcoming games after we recap the past game that, you know, just went by. But anything else you want to get to people? COVID's been whooping my ass. I'm over here.
Nah, man. Honestly, I'm just waiting for the next game, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, Purdy plays with the second stringers. I think I've seen enough of Nate Sudfeld, bro. Like, I don't think he's going to get any better as the preseason goes. Obviously, we got Mr. What is it? Mr. What do they call him? Mr. Irrelevant. There you go, Mr. Irrelevant.
Yes, Mr. Irrelevant. So the very last pick of the draft. Yeah,
I would want to see more of him. So I hope Kyle throws him in there with twos, even with the slight ones. I mean, Trey's not going to play this game anyway, so
exactly. So it's going to be split. We'll get 2 quarters of probably each quarterback for sure.
Exactly. So I'm going to be tuning in, man, because I'm really interested, because I feel like we've had one of our better drafts this year. Yeah. So I want to see what the guys produce, man. What about you?
Same thing, man. To be real with you, I'm not gonna be in tune probably as deep as I was last week. That game had more, Trey's first preseason game as he's taking the helm, and with him not playing. Not saying I'm not gonna watch. I'm definitely gonna watch and watch every game. But I just want to see Kyle run a decent offense. You know what I mean? I want to see these guys run the offense. I was impressed with both quarterbacks in the last game. So I just want to see more of the same. You know what I mean? Want to see those cats progress and keep moving along in the offense and hopefully another Niner win. Like I said, I don't have too much more. I'm trying to go. I got to lay down, man. This COVID's been killing me. I ain't food in me. But it's
fuck COVID, man.
Back. The boys are back, man. This is from the Bay to LA 49er podcast. Your host, LeBron.
Yes, sir.
Co-host, Primo in the cut. Scary sight. We'll catch y'all next week, man.
There you go. Late. All right, man. Everybody have a good night.